Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. You're listening to 97.7 FM, The City. I want to welcome everyone that is catching us over the airwaves on 97.7 FM. If you're driving around the North McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh area, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to us. If you're listening to us through our website, thank you for listening. Also, those of you that are catching us over the TuneIn Radio app or Radio Garden, or there's different multiple ways of listening to us. But I want to welcome everyone that's watching us over YouTube Live and over Facebook Live. So welcome to another edition of The City here on 97.7 FM. We have a special guest today. We have our friend Daisy is joining us today, and she brought a special friend with her. Welcome to the show.
Hello, good evening. Hi, I'm Daisy Martinez. I am a native here in the Rio Grande Valley. I'm also a student at the University of Rio Grande Valley. I'm actually a senior and I'll be graduating this year and I can't wait. I actually major in mass communications and a minor in marketing. And today here I have with me a little good friend of mine. He doesn't necessarily have a name, but I call him Orange for now. But this is one of my Dalmatians, and today I'm here to explain to you a little bit more about my children, as I so call them.
That's right. How many do you have?
So as of right now, I want to say 8 of them. I have 8 of them as of right now. I want to say 5 boys, and the rest of the following are girls. So.
Now tell me about Dalmatians. I know they're a very special breed of dogs, and so tell me about Dalmatians.
So, well, I want to say that they're very eye-catching for sure. I mean, there has never been a time where I take one of my Dalmatians out and someone stops to catch my attention and ask if they could take a picture of them and maybe pet them, and they always tell me, oh my gosh, when I was smaller I always wanted a Dalmatian. Oh my gosh, are you Cruella? Oh my gosh, they always constantly had to stop me and just ask about them.
I know I had a childhood friend growing up, and he had a Dalmatian, and so we played a lot with him. Very smart dogs, very smart breed.
That sounds fun. No, they're actually really good with kids. So every time as I'm walking my dogs around the neighborhood, the kids always have to stop me too. Not just adults, kids as well. And they always bring up the movie Cruella. A lot of people love to call me that, especially family members.
You know, my little boy loves Dalmatians. I didn't even know that until yesterday. In fact, he was just telling me, I guess he was watching some YouTube videos on Dalmatians, and he was just telling me all about Dalmatians, what he had learned about Dalmatians. I was like, really? I didn't know you liked Dalmatians. He goes, yes, I really liked, and I was surprised that you were going to be here. I didn't tell him you were going to be here until like 5 minutes before.
Oh, really?
I
feel like a lot of children, they know so much about the Dalmatians based off of the Disney movie. Let me tell you, I didn't watch those movies growing up, but I started watching them until I started getting my own dogs, and that's when I started realizing, okay, this is why people like them. So I guess a lot of children love them. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they're very eye-catching. So I mean, who doesn't know anything about these dogs? You know what I mean? So.
Now tell me about I know they're very unique dogs. What is very unique about them?
And so I would have to say something unique about these dogs is that, I mean, they're just your best friend. I feel like these Dalmatians, especially having them growing up, they're really easy to learn and to adapt to things. For example, like my Dalmatians back at home, their names are Arrow and Bella. I named Arrow for short for aerospace, after like planes and aircraft, because I had a previous Dalmatian named Astro, and I kind of wanted to go with the space theme. And then Bella, unfortunately I didn't get to name her. I would have named her something else, but I still love her name. Bella, my father-in-law actually named her. But something about these Dalmatians is that they're really loving, and I feel like they're just a little more different than just your typical dog. They're just awesome, and they're really, really clingy. That's what I've realized through all my Dalmatians. Really, really, really clingy.
Now, you're breeding them, and are you thinking about selling them?
No, yeah, for sure, 100%. I actually didn't have the impression of wanting to breed them. Unfortunately, it did happen. Obviously I thought about it, but I wasn't ready. I didn't think that my dogs were ready. They were almost a year old, and I just didn't think that I was prepared. Neither they were. But unfortunately, dogs are dogs, and it does happen. And my Bella, she gave birth to these little children of mine, my grandchildren of mine, on December 8th. And 8 puppies came out. I had 6 boys and 2 girls. And yes, now that they're older than 8 weeks and that they don't drink their mother's milk anymore, I decided, you know what? I cannot keep them all, considering that I do live by myself. I decided, you know what? Let's find a home for these guys. And as of right now, I've only sold 2, but I'm trying my best to find a really good home for all of these guys. I really am. So if anyone is interested, I'm open to all phone calls and messages, so we can find them a really good home.
So we've got any viewers out there or listeners who are interested in having a Dalmatian, which are wonderful pets. How can they get a hold of you?
So you guys can contact me through my phone number at 956-587-8642, or through my Instagram at Daisy Virginia with a double A at the end. Again, that's 956-587-8642, or my Instagram, Daisy Virginia, like the state, with a double A at the end.
Sure. And if you forget that, if you didn't catch that, just hit us up on our social media, either Instagram or Facebook, and or Twitter, and we'll forward the information so that you can get a hold of Daisy, and get one of these little puppies for home. Now, tell me about the other ones that you have at home.
So I have the mother at home, the father, and his siblings as well. I wanted to talk about my 2 extra ones. So unfortunately, I do have 2 deaf dogs, 2 puppies that cannot unfortunately hear. They are very responsive. They love to play. They'll do anything just like any other dog. But unfortunately, they do have this condition where they are unfortunately deaf. And I'm trying to find a very well-loving family who is willing to take them in and give them a loving home just as any other normal dog. But I can tell you right now, they're really good dogs. I haven't had a problem. I mean, there are times where, I wake up the dogs and they're the last ones that I'm trying to wake up. I find it more funny than challenging, but I can see how a lot of people don't want to take them in. I can see, or I can at least imagine how challenging it might be later in the future. Like I said, I've never had deaf dogs before, but I can see how it can be really hard. But if someone is willing to take in a dog and give them a right loving home, I'm sure it will be no problem to them. I've seen people on TikTok, on social media, that people take the time out of their day to actually train their dogs, and they treat them and show them signs. And I've practiced with my older dogs. They're actually well trained. They know the typical sit down, up, wait, and things like that. And I saw myself when I was showing my dogs that they actually know signs. So if I tell them to sit, they actually know they see my hands, because obviously I have their attention. But I was seeing that, if my older dogs can understand what I'm doing, what I want them to do, I'm sure that they can understand too. So.
Excellent, fantastic. We've got my son here. He was outside of the studio. Come on in, Joseph. Yeah, take a seat right over here. He was really excited about the puppy being here, and so he wants to be in the studio in the back here. Okay, so it's one of the first times that I hear about puppies and I guess special needs puppies, but I think it's so amazing because 2 things. One, puppies or dogs have their senses are very heightened. Their sense of smell and taste and so forth, and I know they can navigate very well with just even one of those senses. Without and so I am two, having a special needs puppy, I think it's amazing. It's just an opportunity for you to be part of someone's life that you're going to really make a difference. If you're a loving family, if you've got kids that love animals, and you want to take in an animal like this that really needs is going to need you to be there for them. And I just think it's going to be rewarding on both sides. I think you're gonna walk out of this, blessed. Because puppies are like that, dogs are like that. I'm a dog lover. I've had dogs all my life, and they really give me more than I could ever give them. So
I can definitely agree with you. I've had plenty of Dalmatians throughout the past couple of years, and I've learned nothing but to love them and just have fun and treat them like if they were my own actual children.
Fantastic. I'm glad you brought him by. Tell me about Orange. Anything in particular you want to tell me about Orange?
So he's hilarious. He makes me laugh the most, and let me tell you why. So he when he actually have a recording today earlier or throughout all days, he loves to fight with his siblings. He looks a little shy right now because he's never really been out and about before. But he likes to make like this funny, odd sound when he's fighting with his siblings. Usually dogs bark, but he sounds like a bird. Like I want to compare it to almost like Chewbacca or something, where he makes this odd sound where he's like trying to speak but he can't really talk. But no, he doesn't bark. He makes that odd sound that I'm talking about. So that's what I can definitely say about this guy. And I want to say something about him is that he definitely looks more like his father. He looks a lot more like his father than he does than his mother. There are other siblings who do similar to his mom, but he definitely looks like his father. And he also had another sibling. It was in yellow, but he got adopted. He also looked like his father as well. I wish I would have brought the dad. He's a little more well behaved. If he was here, he would have loved this camera. He would have loved all this.
Now he's really well behaved. He was here before we started recording. He was here for about 30 minutes, and he was a very well behaved puppy.
Yeah. No, yeah. I made sure to bring some treats to reward him for that.
That's neat. Anything else you'd like to share about your puppies?
Well, I just want to let you guys know that, I feel like it's a big topic about disabled dogs. Not only I would like for you guys to get one from me, but also from adoption centers. You guys, whether if the dog is blind or can't hear, it's also important to just really consider, hey, look, let me change this dog's life. Why not? Why not take a dog in and try to do something with him or her and make them happy?
That's right. I'm trying to convince my wife. So if you're watching, I'm going to try to convince you to allow me to have a puppy, right?
Convince yourself as well. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
When I first got this Dalmatian, let me tell you this story. I think it was my 18th birthday when I was deciding whether if I wanted to get a dog or not. I've always grown up with my siblings always having their own dog, their own pet. I've never necessarily had my own. And I was 18, I graduated from high school, and I decided, you know what, I feel like I need a companion. I want my own dog. I had a German Shepherd, but she liked my brother, my younger brother, who's now in the Army. She liked my brother more than she did like me, and I felt a little bummed out. So I wanted my own dog. And the next day we took this vacation to South Padre Island. And we were walking, me and my family, we were walking down the shore, and all I could see is this big spotted dog, and I was like, oh my god, like that dog is so beautiful. I tell you guys, when you have a Dalmatian, as I'm walking down in my neighborhood, people love to stop me. People love to ask for pictures. People, they have so much to ask and to say. And I didn't want to go up to the person and bombard them with like questions and stuff, but I saw the dog from a distance, and I saw how the owner was throwing in a ball to the ocean and the Dalmatian was bringing it back. And I was like, you know what? I told myself I want a dog like that. I want the dog looks so happy, and I want to be able to make a dog happy and find one myself. So we had gotten back from the trip, and I was living with my parents at the time, and I was telling my parents like, hey, look, I want my own dog. I want a Dalmatian. And my parents were actually really shocked. They were like, what? You want a Dalmatian? You want one of those? I've never even seen a Dalmatian in my life, because it's not a lot of people seeing Dalmatians in real life, actually. I've always been told that. And my dad, he was like, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? So me and him went out of our way to find a breeder, someone who was selling the pups, and we found one, and it changed our lives forever. And now here I am with almost 10 more. 15 more, I can say. A lot more.
And this is the first litter, right? That
Yes,
your
yeah,
spare
this is
has.
my first litter. Yeah, I've helped other dogs, give birth. I've seen dogs do all that, but this is my own litter. And it was really beautiful. It was crazy when I was helping my dog give birth. I was actually on FaceTime with my fiance, and we saw everything. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in, and it was so beautiful at the same time. I was crying because it's my own child having her own children, and it's. I swear these dogs are like my own kids. I love them, and I'd do anything for them.
Oh, well, if you're watching, if you're interested, contact Daisy. Give us that contact information once more time.
My phone number is 956-587-8642, or you can also contact me on Instagram. It is Daisy Virginia, like the state with a double A at the end. Again, guys, you guys can call or text me at 956-587-8642, or on Instagram, Daisy Virginia, like the state with a double A at the end.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. The doors are always open here at 97.7 FM for you to come by and talk to us about your pets, about your kids. Stop by anytime. Come back and share any more information or stories with us anytime. Or if, next time you have another litter, come on and tell us about that as well. And all of you, thanks again for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for making the time to come out.
Of course.
Stay tuned to 97.7 FM. Coming up next, we've got Real Talk Radio. Just a few minutes, so stick around.